Power did our boy Denji hella dirty this week, and I am so impressed by the fact that what she was saying was truth, but it was inherently a lie that was truthful, right? So the whole entire premise behind this week is Denji trying to get closer to power, and that's really the main antithesis. And that's mainly the main of this week's episode is really like Denji trying to partner with power, him being motivated by the booba bazongas, okay? Him feeding into a story that she had about her kitty, her meow meow, and not the one downstairs. But Denji being able to sympathize and empathize with her because he had Pochita, right? So because he had Pochita, he's able to understand the love that you have for a animal, for another living being, for a devil, whatever it is, he's able to understand her feelings towards this cat. Because of that, he puts his heart first and he believes her. She takes him out to some field and totally ruins his day. Thankfully, Denji caught on last minute, but the reality is she set a trap for him and he fell right into the trap. Now, later on, as the episode kind of goes on, we find out that there is a cat, and she legitly was trying to bring him to assist her, but she was trying to basically sacrifice Denji in a trade for her cat. The thing with that is he let her know, oh, good thing I hope I don't have to transform into chainsaws. And she was like, and I kind of found that to be pretty funny. So here's where before I begin gloating and glowing and really digging into how awesome Chainsaw Man is, there's a couple of things that, one thing kind of irritated me this week, and I'm going to say this, if you think Chainsaw Man is the best thing to cross heaven and earth in the form of anime, just click off right now, and I'll just say, this was a great episode, wasn't it? And just leave it right there. Click off, because, I'll probably trigger you in some way. But here's the two things that I didn't like about the episode, okay? And I'm going to put this here, and then we'll get on to what I really loved about the episode. First thing was, when we had the whole entire scenario of him watching Power interact with this bat devil being, when we saw the bat eat the cat, right? There's this whole subsection of him just laying there. And the whole time I was like, brah, pull the thing, dude. And he didn't pull the thing. And I was like, yo, transform. I even typed out, transform, dude. The fact that we got to the point to where Power got eaten as well. And then he got taken up to the sky. He bit into the bat, and then he transformed. I was like, all right, cool. So that's kind of the first thing, right? Is he just didn't simply do the transformation, do the thing. It felt like it just took too long. And I was like, yo, let's go. And I felt like it took too long, okay? That's kind of the first thing. That's kind of my first ick. That's kind of the first thing that kind of was like, I don't know. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. The next thing is the fight between Denji and the bat. I understand. It was supposed to be hype, and I'm supposed to be like, I just didn't have that feeling. I watched it, I was like, oh, this is cool. I just didn't have this hype level to it, and I don't really know why that is. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's because we haven't spent enough time with Denji yet. I don't know if it's because, this is supposed to be, one of the fights that kind of builds up to us getting excited. I just really didn't feel it, right? If I think this past week, I watched the most recent episode of Bleach. And if you haven't watched it yet, I won't spoil anything. But there was a fight that occurred, and I was like, oh my god, I was in my seat, legitly ADHDing out, and I just didn't have those same feelings or sentiments while watching this, And I am gonna look you in the eye and say, if you are a source material fan, which means that you read the manga, whatever, and you were like, oh, I can't wait for this to be animated, blah, 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 I can totally understand why you are to the moon hype and excited. I don't have any history with Chainsaw Man whatsoever. This is my first experience with it. So for me, I thought it was cool. It's like, oh, this is dope. You know, this is dope. Like, don't take my words and say, oh, Dom hates it or whatever. Like, no, it was dope. I just wasn't excited watching it. Like, I wasn't leaving my chair. You know, I wasn't jumping out of my chair. I wasn't like rawing out loud like I did this past week with Bleach, or like I did this past week with My Hero, right? You know, the past couple of weeks, you know, like that feeling of hypeness just simply wasn't there. Now, again, I'm not gonna say it wasn't dope, because it was dope. I just wasn't like excited about it. Like, the intention, the music was to get you like, you know, you're like, it just didn't happen for me. So I have to put those two things out there. Too long to transform, and the hype battle for me on a very personal level wasn't hype. That doesn't mean it wasn't. Doesn't mean it isn't for some. Doesn't mean that somebody else is gonna have a different reaction. Of course, you know, we're all different in the way we enjoy stuff. It's just that I think it was dope. It was really cool. It was hella coolly animated. I was very happy to see the Bat get his shit kicked in. It just, like, it wasn't like it. I think it was trying to bring out an emotion that just didn't hit for me personally. So let's talk about the rest of it. I love the fact that we're getting so much information about Power. I love that we're getting so much about, you know, her backstory. I love that we're getting about, like, her sentimentality. I love that this episode really focused in on her transformation into a devil, and how she was basically living out in the boonies, just like eating stuff. You know, I love how it showed her humanization of her making a friend for the first time within this cat. I love how she said that, you know, I've never killed anything that looks me into my eyes before. The cat's the first thing. I love that she legitly formed this huge bond that kind of gave her this humanality to her with this cat. So it was even that much more powerful for us to see this cat get eaten. So I love that we got all this focus on Power. I think she is such a unique character. She's so awesome. And I love that Denji is probably going to become really, really close with her. And I love how, you know, part of the episode was kind of focused on him being assigned to, like, fix this, get together with her, fix this, you know? And I kind of really love that quite a bit. I also like kind of seeing how how Denji himself is able to control his chainsawness, right? Before he was like, you know, every time I transform into his chainsaw, it's just a massacre. This episode shows that he's able to have some kind of symbiont of control in his chainsaw form. He's able to tell humans to run away. He's able to, you know, control his saws when they come out, and when they don't come out, it's definitely like a blood art kind of thing. Really, really cool. I love how he was like, oh, I don't care about the dudes. The dudes can die. Ladies, I gotta save the boobas. But the guys, they can die. Therefore, he threw a truck or a car at this bat. Love all of that. So this, you know, it's only getting better. We're only on episode 3. I have a lot of faith that, you know, the stuff that I'm not particularly a big fan of so far, I would say this episode was an 8 out of 10, and the things that took it to 8 out of 10 for me are the things that I mentioned. I have a good feeling that this anime will continue to grow on me, and, you know, those things that I was like, I'm not so sure about, I think it will end up, like, subsiding, and it will end up delivering on what I'm looking for. So, and I think Power is going to do that. I love her quite a bit. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know if you're like, yo, I hate you. I can't believe you said yada yada. You know, hate it up in the comments below. As always, guys, love y'all. Stay up this week, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 4 of Chainsaw Man. Peace.